Good afternoon. It is Wednesday, the 15th of September. Also, how are we already at the halfway point of another month? This year is going by so freaking fast. Anyway, before I get off on a rant about the passage of time, hello, I am Niskanen. This is my vlog, so my sewing vlog, to document my, growing obsession, growing wardrobe, whatever. This week I am still making a Chilton trench coat. It has been hacked so that it is double-breasted instead of single-breasted, and the chest shields have been expanded so that they actually cover the newly expanded button rows. Yes. If you were here last week, that was when we basically constructed the body. Only thing that is missing from the outer shell of the body is the collar and the sleeves, so that is where we are starting, and then I am pretty sure we are moving on to the lining. That's going to be exciting because, well, I'm very excited to have a coat, trench coat, that actually fits me. But also because it is well and truly fall outside. And I am very, very excited about that. And a trench coat to wear during fall. Anyway. So yes, let us put on the collar. Let us put on the collar into the coat. I will see you on the other side. Alright, we have achieved a semblance of a coat, and it is glorious. So yes, as you can see, the collar is on. Things are pretty much where they should be in terms of, well, everything. I was right, okay. So, in my video from, I guess, 2 weeks ago, all of this Chilton trench coat business, there is a playlist. So in the video where I made the changes to the pattern and made the mock-up, I speculated that the back of the neck didn't want to stay still because there was essentially no collar there, and it sort of tended to roll up onto the front. And I was right. Now that there is a collar in place, the thing hangs exactly at my shoulder, and I bet that's going to be even better once I put in the shoulder pads. The size is pretty great. I need to reinforce the stitching at the corners of the pockets, but yeah. onto the sleeves, I guess. Yes, onto the sleeves. I'm gonna try out explaining what I'm doing in voiceover this week. I don't know if I'm gonna like it, but we'll see. In any case, let's get to the sleeves. I'm gonna finish my work day before that though, so I'll see you on the other side. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is we are going to sew the sleeve seams. We're going to put the inner sleeve together with the outer sleeve, and that's what's happening here, basically. It's a very straightforward seam, and it's moving along. And last, we are going to add the gathering stitches between notches so that the sleeve can then be gathered before it is inserted into the sleeve armhole. Armhole? Something like that. And then once both sleeves are fine and dandy and working, it is time to put the sleeves in the armholes, and thus, after a lot of very careful sewing, we have an entire coat. And allow me to be very clear. This was very, very, very careful sewing, because stuff and things, nonsense. And don't forget to hydrate while you're sewing, and also while you're watching YouTube videos, because hydration is important. And this is the sleeve where I managed to mess up my reading of the markers. There's a word for this. Notches. This is where I managed to misread my notches and had my sleeve be slightly off kilter, which was not great. It meant that I had to undo some things, and I had a very hard time, even though I was very, very careful sewing the upper edge of this, because it seemed like things were off, and turns out they were. So this is me starting to realize that this is not normal. This is not how things are meant to be. And this is me taking apart the seam that I had just put in, just so that I could put the sleeve in correctly. This week is exactly like that. But in the end, it turned out very nicely. And now I have two sleeves. Good evening. as you can see, the trench coat is pretty much done. I need to obviously press the sleeve seams towards the sleeve, and I also need to press the what is it, the collar seam, and obviously I need to sew the button for this epaulette and the pocket on my left side. And then I need to attach, what are they called? Shoulder pads. And all of these are hand sewing activities, and I'm not going to film them mostly because they're just not very interesting to look at. And because I'm very, very slow at hand sewing, it's going to take forever, so this is what you get. So anyway, I'm very pleased with the progress I've made this week. It feels like everything's going very fast, mostly because all the preparatory sewing, like stuff like this, is just done. I know the instructions tell you to construct the collar just before you insert it. I constructed it beforehand, and I actually really liked that way, because that way I did all the preparatory stuff beforehand, and that way I could just, when I got to this point, I didn't have to stop and start constructing this small fiddly little thing. And instead I just got to insert it where it was supposed to go, and it feels like I have a coat, which is really awesome. I mean, it's obviously not finished. It's going to require a lot more work, but for now it feels like and looks like I have a coat. And that is really freaking amazing. I don't want to jinx it, but it feels like I might be able to finish this project next week. I'm not going to be able to finish it this week, I don't think. There's a lot of work to be done on the lining, and the putting the lining and the outer shell together is a process that is actually and truly terrifying. But I think next week I might be able to finish this project, and that would be amazing, because that would allow me to start working on building my top wardrobe, because honestly I don't have that many tops. I have a lot of various sweaters, because I've been knitting for a very long time, and honestly I like knitting things. So I've got a lot of sweaters, but sometimes a sweater ain't it. And I've been feeling the lack of any other type of tops that are not t-shirts, and large t-shirts at that, like men's t-shirts. I would love to have a lot more of form-fitting t-shirts, but for some reason form-fitting t-shirts don't tend to go up to my sizes. So, you know, I guess I gotta make them. But no, I'm tired. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna press, and then I'm going to sit down in front of the couch and start doing the hand sewing, because there's going to be a lot of that. So, I will see you tomorrow when we will start working on the lining. Good afternoon. It is Thursday the 16th of September. Yes, the 16th of September. And, well, I am having the worst case of startitis that I have had in a while. Yes, it is very bad today. For those of you who are not knitters, startitis is the condition you tend to get around times of change during spring, at the beginning of summer, beginning of fall, beginning of winter, when you feel like you have to start all the projects, all of them, at the same time. Because surely you will be able to make things happen faster if you make them all at the same time, because that's logical. But logic be damned, I am having the worst case of startitis that I've had in a while. Mostly thankfully for sewing stuff at this point. And I am running out of battery. I should have planned this better. I'll be back. So anyway, so right now I just really want to make all of the tops, all of them. Like, mostly it's seamwork tops. I don't know why, but for some reason, especially right now, I'm just very into the whole seamwork aesthetic. It's not necessarily my favorite aesthetic, just in general. They tend to do a lot of loose, flowy things. As does Muna and Broad, for example. They do a lot of lovely, loose and flowy things. But for some reason, I just really want that slightly structured and yet loose and flowy look right now. And I don't know why. But I want it. I want it, precious. And my dog is doing something interesting over there. So anyway, but I am determined to not start any new projects until I finish this one. But it's hard. Anyway, today's plan for the Chilton trench coat is to start sewing the come on now, the lining together. Right now I have the first set of front pieces clipped. I still need to clip the other side of the front, and then I can start sewing them. And then after those are joined, I can add the princess seamed piece, the side front piece to both sides. But that seems a long way away. There's still a lot of hand sewing to be done. I've got so at work my team does coffee breaks every Tuesday and Thursday, like over a Zoom like thing. So I tend to do crafty things while we're doing that. So I'm planning to make progress at least on the buttons, possibly also the shoulder pads during that time, and I should probably look up how to do the latter before that happens. And what else? I think that's more or less it. This morning I woke up very early. Anyway, I woke up very early and I started cleaning my pattern pieces away. So the outer shell patterns are now contained, which is good because that means that they're taking up less space on my table, my cutting table, my work table, whatever. And that also means that I will have an easier time of finding the pattern pieces that I am going to need later when I move onward to the next phases of this effort. Yes. Right now I'm very tired. I don't know why, but I am. So there's that. And yeah. I'm honestly just very much looking forward to being done with this project, largely because I just want to wear a trench coat again. It's been many years, and even then, the trench coat that I had did not really fit me. It barely closed. So when I was wearing a sweater. If I wore a thick sweater or a hoodie, it just would not. So that was not great. So I donated it years ago, I think. Possibly last year. Time is weird right now. Somehow it simultaneously seems like everything is taking forever, and at the same time it seems like things are just moving faster than the speed of light. So, yeah. Anyway, onward to the sewing. I'll see you on the other side. And thus we come to the lining. First, we need to sew the front facing together with the front lining, and then after that's done, we're going to sew the front lining together with the side front lining. This whole process is slightly tricky, mostly because I am working with a very crispy silk organza? I don't think it's organza though. A very crisp silk, so it does not want to bend, and it also wants to fray as much as possible, and that is not to be borne. But here we are. In any case, here we have the second front going in with the front lining. And then next up, we have the front being sewed together with the side front lining. And soon you are going to notice that I make a mistake. I sewed the wrong sides of the front lining together with the side front lining. And that, my friends, is how you make nervous collapses happen. So here we are. Well, that is definitely it for me tonight. Um, the first half of the front went very nicely, and then I somehow managed to pin and sew the side front to the wrong side of the side front to the wrong side of the center front front lining piece. Basically, when I should have been sewing right sides together. So I'm going to have to take that apart before I can sew it again. And it is already getting late, so I'm just gonna go to the couch and start, you know, doing the hand sewing that needs to be done. And hopefully tomorrow will be a better sewing day. I'll see you tomorrow. Good evening. It is Sunday, the 19th of September, and I am frankly exhausted. I have been, well, basically all week, but through the weekend. On Friday, I was so dead tired, you cannot even imagine. And so instead of trying to undo the mistakes happening in that coat, I decided to make another project, which is the Aberdeen shirt. It is a seam work pattern. It's a really simple V-neck shirt. That is just it's very simple. That's what it is. That's the tweet. So yeah, I made it almost all the way through on Friday. I still need to press the neckline because I had a small oopsie here on the serger, because sergers and V-necks apparently do not match. Although I did pretty well on the back. Well, no, I didn't. The back has an almost identical oopsie. So, you know, I honestly don't care. You have to be really close to notice it, and while I am going to probably notice it for the rest of my life, or rather the rest of the life of this sweater, I'm choosing not to care, and I doubt that anyone else will either. So anyway, I need to press the neckband and then top stitch it with a zigzag, and then I need to hem the shirt, and then it's done. So yeah, that's what I did with my Friday. Then yesterday we washed our dog. It was a 2-hour, yeah, probably about a 2-hour ordeal. And yeah, I was very much done after that, so I had no energy or really interest to be undoing mistakes. I did manage to get the miss, can't remember if I talked about it here, so just in case, I managed to sew the shoulder pad to the edge of the seam allowance instead of the edge of the seam. So it went about a centimeter further than it should have, which caused it to sort of form a rounded look, which would have been nice if that was what I was going for, but I really kind of want more of a crisp edge there. So I had to take the shoulder pad out, and I did, and it's almost back in now. I still need to sew the other shoulder pad on, and I almost got the side front piece that was sewn in the wrong way back where it's supposed to be. And yeah, now all I need to do is, well, I need to finish taking the side front piece out, and then I probably need to do the back and all of that, but that's gonna have to wait until next week because I am still kind of exhausted. I woke up feeling hungover, which is kind of interesting since I haven't had any alcohol in at least a week, and that was a beer with sauna, so that's one no, and that was even I even shared that with my partner. So a half a portion of alcohol in the past week, I doubt that would cause a hangover. But hungover is what I feel, and it's pretty much, I'm absolutely certain it's because I'm exhausted. So I'm also very cold, which is why I'm wearing my hoodie. Hoodie is I think it's an Australian company that makes basically really, really oversized hoodies. Because I think this is a 6X, they say. So yeah, it's fleece, and there's a fake fleece, like a sheep's fleece, except it's fabric on the inside. It's really warm. Usually I don't love this fabric. It feels like a microfiber. I've had microfiber towels that I hated so much. I could not wear them. But this is actually pretty nice. Anyway, so I'm pretty tired, and I'm cold, and I'm sore from going to the gym and starting a new program directed by my trainer. And honestly, I'm kind of miserable. Not in a oh pity me way, more of a you know that scene in Groundhog Day where he's like completely and utterly given into the situation, and he's like, fine, let's get it over with, let's just do this thing. I'm there. That's me. So yeah, I'm gonna finish this shirt, and then I'm gonna wear it tomorrow, and I will be happy, and that will be good. And then tomorrow I will start working on the lining again. And in the meanwhile, I also did manage to finish out the edges of my pressing cloth, which has been a task that I will get to someday. For a few months now. I got the fabric. Yeah, it was a few months ago now. So yeah, now it's done, and I don't have to pull strands of fiber off everything I press for the foreseeable future, which is nice. So yeah, I'm gonna go now. If you like this vlog, please like, subscribe, do all the YouTube things, and I will see you next Thursday.